Hey, welcome everyone. Happy 8/8 Lion Gate portal. The biggest message that I've been getting over these last few days is that this is truly a Stargate, and that these Stargate systems are activating in our bodies right now. So I will be moving into a channeled state and inviting Astra'Luma to share a channeling. I have really kept out as much as I have wanted to receive the message and integrate it before the call today. I've disciplined myself to keep it very pure and organic because it will also be the first time that I hear this message today as well. Before we actually go into the transmission slash activation channeling, I did pull a code for us. So what I'm going to do with this code is after we are done today, I'm going to go ahead and run it through, grab the quantum equation for this specific code today that we have, and I will send it out in the replay so that if you want to continue to play with the transmission of the code that you can. So I'll show you what it is, and then we'll go ahead and start the transmission. I won't be holding these up during the activation, but just know that these are the codes that will be part of it. So the first one is the 33. So 33 is full mastery. It's bioquantum. It's when all 12 strands of DNA are fully active and consciousness is having the experience of that. Then we have the 9, which is the ability to master the illusion and master the matrix. It's also seeing the divine in all things. I love this code, you guys. And then we have the 11, which is Christ consciousness. It's holding consciousness outside of programming. You could say pure thought. This is what we experience when the spin state of our body matches the frequency of our innate being, is that thought simply becomes a transmission of source intelligence. Then we have the 6, which is the activated DNA, ascended DNA. So this is when we start to move into the higher operating system of the body, and we're no longer having the experience of what I call the programmed body, which is the chemical body. And then we have the smiley face. It also can be the bridge between two worlds. So the 2 is communication and connection. And then we end, of course. I was wondering, I was like, ooh, are we going to get through this whole code and not get an 8? But of course, we ended with the 8, which is manifestation, abundance, and flow. So the 8 comes at the end of the equation, which will be the full activation of the portal or the Stargate. Okay, so just give you a little bit of uh, an idea of what you're about to experience. I'm going to be going in to the channeling. I'll move right into the transmission, and that will be our experience today. So I'm not sure how long we will go. If you need to drop off at any time, just know that the recording is there. I will have this posted sometime between now and tomorrow morning in YouTube, and it will also go out in Sunday's email if you want to find it there. So just know there won't be any question and answer today. It will just be the channeling and the transmission. I believe that everything. One other thing, just because I know when we get to the end, we're all going to be in altered states. But I will be doing a transmission for question and answer, if that is something that interests you and you want to have more interaction in the frequency. I want to invite you into the membership. It's free for the whole month, and I'm not sure when our next channeling Astra'Luma, just specific question and answer will be, but it will be sometime this month. So just to give you a heads up on that. All right, everyone. So I'm just going to have you connect into your intention. You have one. If you don't, then I'm going to invite you to just hopefully connect to something that you're working on, that you're ready to shift into a higher frequency and experience in what we would call the new earth, or in the biofield of the expression of source. Okay. If you would like to bring your fingers together like this, I'm going to invite you to do so. This just helps keep the energy moving. It also helps with any clearing that needs to happen. It allows the clearing to exit in a more clean or less aggressive way for those of you that have ascension symptoms. Okay, just give me one moment. Blessings, dear ones. We are honored to have you here with us today. On this day, as the Stargate opens for the first time in the frequency of the experience of mankind. This Stargate in particular is most important, as on this day we reflect the 8 within the God sphere. The 8 is reflected through the frequency of Source itself. The opportunity within the Stargate is to experience manifestation and abundance through the reflection of an intelligence. This intelligence is being activated through a Stargate system within the ascended DNA. So though we focus on the 12 strands, today we will move into the ascended DNA of the mitochondria. This DNA is a sphere. And on this day, the sphere, the central point, will open the Stargate. In the Stargate that is connected to this portal that you are in the experience of in this time and space called now, is opening a wisdom, a connection to the experience of the mind and of the body. So bringing your attention to the frequency that we are transmitting in this moment, as we would like to transmit the frequency through this Stargate. You may experience it through the heart or as the body. Some will experience it as the pineal gland. As this Stargate is activating within your body in this moment, we will transmit the evolution. As this transmission comes through, the looping cycle of observation of a distorted reality will begin to dissolve. For some, this will be the experience of the veil thinning. For some, your intuitive powers will come online. And for others, you will begin to recognize limitations with ease. The Stargate is a moment in time that you will all remember. And through this transmission, we will alter not only the particles of your body, but we will bring the particles through this ascended DNA system. This is the advanced system beyond the 12-strand DNA. Settling in, we'd like to share just a few more things with you before we begin. As this ascended DNA technology is fully activated, it is only the beginning of consciousness hitting the frequency that is stored here. As you move into reality over these next few weeks, allow yourself to stay open to experiencing life beyond the material, as consciousness will begin to see, to experience. And as you hold consciousness in the focus of your intention, you will see new material or form. In this experience, it may feel more real than the distorted reality of what we call the third dimension. This will be the ascension of consciousness through dimensional space as the material. So that what this means is that even though you may experience reality as material, know that we are bringing reality itself into a higher spin state. So even though it may seem as though the third dimension is presented before you, we invite you to bring your consciousness fully into the dimension and see, experience what is beyond. As you do so, you will begin to experience consciousness multidimensionally. You will see that matter is simply particles. And as you learn to use the wisdom of this advanced technology, of the DNA Stargate system, you will be able to timeline shift. So settle into your intention in this moment, knowing that timeline shifting is simply raising the frequency of reality itself. This is part of the pathway of human evolution. You will have your own experience of this. In this experience, the more conscious you are, the more you will have a mastery of the reality itself. We're going to go ahead and release the first equation through the top of the head as it moves down through the spine. And in this equation, we are breaking up the particle system of the body, allowing the particles to move into a wave form. We're just preparing the body to open the Stargate of this ascended DNA system. Uste kenshikon daraiseka so sorogor to baneteke tekanan sekonor shike to sokororo sakamasaka. Reseka no saka sororo shakamadake tekaroto matsakarin. Iseko koro rente teketa ko shoro. We're bringing in the second equation. bringing the spiral system of the 12-strand DNA system into the frequency pattern, connecting into the particle wave as we allow the DNA to move out of the material, the experience of biology, into the biofield. Feeling the frequency of your physical body moving into the expression of Source. Kinse karosha saka surushi manete keshe te go saran te karoshagon ta sakarate kenchi to korosho. And sekete kor ras sekadon shunkarate kato. Resident ta soko shiro. The 12-strand DNA system now activates all the particles, the particle waves, creating a grid system. And as this grid system is created, it is connecting in to the frequency pattern of the portal. As we download the next equation, we open the heart space, the light codes, preparing the body to open the Stargate of the ascended DNA. We're running pulses through the body, Sikoror so rensei ketakom pasako shoto. Racekin nemataka shororo tomaseketo shoyon. Useke mansako shukoto shenna sekara sako shikonana take shikana. We now bring the equation into the pineal gland. Creating a spiral system. You may feel pressure in the mind. Sokororo sore, sekena sokororo shen te, seko sororo shokoto, sorana de kite chuto. We're taking a koshodaron, realigning the electric responses of the physical brain, moving it into the biofield. Multidimensional thought is activated. Bringing in the light codes, allowing the activation of the ascended mind to be held in the biofield as the expression of Source. And now we will run the wave, a source wave through the body, dissolving any density. You may feel this as a vibrational pulse that runs down your spine. And as all of the particles of your body are suspended in this wave form, we will open the stargate of the ascended DNA. bringing through the transmission, the wisdom, a knowledge that is ready to move into the human experience, the knowledge of your mastery, your empowerment as a divine creator. You are a divine channel. You are source in the experience of form. It is time to have the experience of your innate being. We'll now release the first transmission. We are running the vibrational pulse, expanding the Stargate to encompass the biofield. Allowing yourself to have the experience. We'll now activate the second transmission, anchoring the frequency of source as we begin to bring the particles from waveform to particle form, holding the frequency or vibration of source. Osei karor shonoro kasei te se ko soro teken te toko soro. Rente kato poto kon te as we rotate the Stargate counterclockwise, erasing time and space, erasing the looping cycle of how the cells are operating and bringing them into the Stargate itself. Shiko rose tako saron te sekara sho rai sekerogun sho to bain se seke. Radakata koro to typetating. We turn the Stargate clockwise, turning on the multidimensional body, connecting in consciousness, bringing consciousness to 0 point and simply having the experience as it is realigned into the experience of the body as source. Kamatsaka shuro shrei sekento sapketikan shuro. Rasa kasoro te ko tai tekon torata koto. Wasekananatika rosakado shon te ketako. One she te ko shananatake. Feeling the particles as they collapse into the ascended experience of the body as a technology. And within the Stargate, we now transmit the frequency of what it is to be in bio-creation. Reite kana sako shiro shine saka shino rasa kado Ose kashanamase koroshudo. We now invite you to bring your intention, placing it into center of the Stargate. As we activate the Stargate through the experience of your intention. We'll give you just one moment to allow your intention to move into the space of the purity of what you are asking. Simply allowing it to attune and align. You can see as though the Stargate is transmitting the frequency of Source, purifying your intention, allowing it to be in the full alignment of your experience. We'll now open the next level of the Stargate as it attunes your intention, connecting to the ascended DNA, the body as source and form, allowing it to move into the expression in the second level as we alter reality to match the frequency of your biofield. As one particle is altered, all particles are altered. As you experience the unified field from the experience of the Stargate, you can see the Stargate as the particle altar. With second surround second so say kedar shuran sakasakon. Say koro say tekeran sadara to kosa samana say sekiro shun. Anzakiso thros sodokon say saran sere. Wasekadaka second se chukuru chukiru. Asekato osakana cheka sara sero shun kosai. Aseke so toske. We'll take just a moment to bring through this last particle ascended experience, allowing all the quantum equations to work together, creating a new field of resonance. Just taking a moment to be in silence as consciousness attunes, allowing yourself to stay in the space of openness, playfulness, knowing that this frequency pattern is holding reality, consciousness, your experience in a fifth dimensional state. All you have to do is surrender and allow. We'll bring the last transmission through now. And this transmission will come through a biowave that is beyond what we can speak. So we will do this in silence and purely receive. And that is the end of our transmission today. The Stargate is now open. We honor and support each and every one of you. We deeply respect the journey that you have chosen. With so much love and gratitude, we release you into the experience of the transmission. So that is the end of the transmission. And we will just let you all go and sit in this frequency, drink a lot of water today, and just sending you so much love. Thank you for connecting with us, and we will see you next time.